Right, everyone, welcome to Pulse Media Services. Now, today we shall be focusing on the recent US strikes, and then Kanu's lawyer has been speaking about the safety of Nnamdi Kanu, considering in mind that Nnamdi Kanu is presently located at the Sokoto prison where the US strikes took place Thursday evening, the Christmas period. Now, the counsel to Nnamdi Kanu, the lead counsel, Aloy Ejimakor, has called for his client's immediate relocation from northern Nigeria over alleged security concerns. Now, Ejimakor made the call on Friday via his verified formerly Twitter handle, reacting to reports of the United States military strikes targeting terrorists. Now, we know the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has been in detention in that facility. And a lot of people have been expressing his concern over his safety in that facility. And then this concern was re-echoed by Ejimakor, the lead counsel to Nnamdi Kanu. According to the lawyer, the reported U.S. operation has further confirmed that Sokoto is heavily infiltrated by terrorist elements and was never a safe environment to detain Kanu. He further argued that the continued detention of Kanu in the region exposes him to grave danger, given the presence and activities of terrorists, and urged authorities to move him to a more secure facility outside what he described as the terrorist belt of northern Nigeria. Now, we know that at the time the counsel to Nnamdi Kanu went on to file additional papers to ensure that Kanu was released from that particular location and moved to a more important, more safe, a safer rather location in the north there, preferably Abuja. But now going by the judgment made by that Justice Omotosho said that the matter will be revisited and of course adjourned to January 2026. And the ground he gave was that the prison officials, the government officials rather, should have been notified. Maybe when they serve a copy of that of the paper filed by Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, because they are the ones that are supposed to know the next best facility in the country. But probably they didn't serve them, so they were not put on notice. But of course, they have been put. This time around, they were taught they were instructed. They were instructed to put those lawyers on notice. Now, Ejimakor stressed that the need to relocate Kanu has become more urgent in light of the prevailing security situation. Now, of course, a lot of people have been expressing that fear that now the terrorist belt in Nigeria, northern Nigeria especially, is Sokoto, and then these bandits especially. Now, before now, it used to be Maiduguri, where we have these Boko Haram terrorists. But if you are talking of banditry in Nigeria, I think the headquarters per se is Sokoto State. Of course, a lot of people have expressed dissatisfaction over Nnamdi Kanu's transfer to that particular facility, because nobody thought he could be transferred to such a facility. But then the grounds given by by Justice Omotosho-led court was that that particular facility is stronger and then can withstand any form of danger compared to that of Abuja, where I think Abuja Kuje prisoners once witnessed jailbreak. But just as we said earlier on, the Counsel to Nnamdi Kanu uh, appealed that decision, and then it was hard. And then they told us that by 2026 January, the matter will still be revisited to know if Kanu can continue to remain in that facility. Now, moving on, he said the U.S. military strike against terrorists in Sokoto has finally confirmed that Sokoto is riddled with terrorists, and this was never a safe place of custody for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Of course, this is going to be a very good ground for these lawyers to really fight their case this time around. I'm sure they are going to hand it up to their grounds when the time comes, when they need to make another submission to the court. I'm sure they are going to factor in this the airstrikes, and then definitely with that, bearing that in mind, the possibility that we have him transferred to a more secured facility is going to be there. Now it's now more urgent that he be taken outside the terrorist belt in northern Nigeria. Yes, the Sokoto is now known as terrorist belt in Nigeria. We know that airstrike was powerful on Christmas Day. It caught a lot of people unaware. Even the resident of Sokoto and other people caught them unaware. But of course, this particular terrorist strike, of course, a lot of people see it as a danger to Nnamdi Kanu there. It's a danger to his safety there. Of course, we don't know how the terrorists are going to react. Yes, definitely we don't know whether they will go into school and start kidnapping, or go into prison and start doing whatever it is, or start targeting soft areas, like soft targets, and whatever it is. That's why I think the lawyers are more concerned about the safety of Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu has been in the custody of the Department of State Services (DSS) since his arrest in 2021, with his legal team repeatedly raising concern over his safety and the condition of detention. Yes, of course, this is a very important and viable point. Of course, that will still be raised. The welfare of Nnamdi Kanu is a very prominent individual, a very prominent Igbo activist, fighting for the right of his people, the rights for self-determination, which is enshrined in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, of course, and of course, the matter is still on, and we still have a long way to go. Of course, we are going to know where the matter is heading by this new year. We are entering 2026. I'm sure after the relocation of the court of his prison facility, of where he's staying in the prison, to another facility, definitely we then know the next move, which is going to be appeal now. And then if the appeal is successfully carried out, then we know if we know where we are heading. Of course, we still have one more court to go to, which is the Supreme Court, and then from there we know how the matter will end. But of course, a lot of people have come to say that Nnamdi does not deserve this type of treatment, considering the fact that there are a lot of northerners have done worse than these. Killers have even been given amnesty. So what makes Nnamdi Kanu's own matter difficult or thereabout? Of course, we continue to watch out and see if this appeal can the appeal can hold water now. But of course, a lot of people are saying that the best to this is political consideration, because if it's going to go by the way of the legal consideration, it may be difficult for him to come out of this matter. And then that's why we need the ECOWAS and all these community, or all the international community to wade into the matter, and then see if there's a way they can appeal for political solution to this matter, because it's not enough to think of the legal solution, because the grounds of offense are so
If
much,
ECOWAS determines
and
that
then
Kanu
the
has
only
been
thing the
unfairly
court can
treated,
do
they could
is
recommend a complete
probably,
review of his case
of
or
course,
even
the
a call
court
for
will
his
go the
release.
way of
However,
the
that's not
law
something that can be easily done, especially when the
made
Nigerian
available
government
for
is
every
determined to enforce
offenses. And
its laws.
if that
The
is the way the
international
court is
pressure
going to
could
do
be a
it,
game changer.
definitely
If
it's going to
ECOWAS
be a
and
little bit
other global
difficult.
bodies like
But
the
of course,
UN
if you
or
have a
AU
political solution
throw
on
their
ground,
weight
then we
behind Kanu's
know
supporters, the Nigerian
what it
government
is
might
that
have no
will
choice
be
but to
required.
reconsider its
Now,
stance.
another thing is that is
There's also the
Nnamdi
possibility
Kanu
that the
willing to
Nigerian
drop the
government
agitation?
could
Of course,
try
if
to
he's not
find
willing to
a
drop the
middle ground.
agitation,
They
government should
might not fully
yield to his
release
own
Kanu,
concern, because
but they could
after all,
allow for a
even the
more
honorable
transparent hearing, or
justice said
perhaps
that
even pardon him under certain
yeah, that
conditions.
Nigeria is a signatory
This would allow them to
to
save
the
face,
Universal Declaration
while
of
also appeasing the
right of
international community.
people to
But
self-determination
whatever
of
happens, the story
determination.
is
So there's
far
nothing
from
wrong
over.
with an
Kanu's
individual
supporters aren't
coming out
going
to say,
anywhere.
okay,
The government isn't
they want to
backing down
secede,
either.
so long as
Despite
that
its friendly
it is
tone
carried out
right now, how
in a
President
legal
Tinubu
manner.
handles
But
this
of course,
space
even
will
he
be
was
very
even
relevant
advised
to
that,
his
look, the best way
presidency,
to do this thing is to
especially with
approach
the
your national
2026
assembly
elections
members,
on the
approach your
horizon.
political leaders,
If he
approach
fails to
all
act in a way
the
that resonates with the people,
top
he could
echelons
face
in
significant
Igbo land,
challenge.
and then
But if
see
he
the way
handles
to
this with wisdom
fine tune
and diplomacy, he could turn this into
your
a
exit
victory
from
for his
Nigeria.
country.
But of course,
The
we are
tension
still in the
is
legal process.
palpable
We hope that
and the stakes are
this
mounting.
matter is
ECOWAS has
resolved
already warned.
amicably.
Now, all
Thanks for
eyes are on
watching.
Nigeria
See
to
you
see
next
how it
time.
responds.